Hi, in this video I'm going to solve another example of integration by parts, and actually the example is the one on the right, which is this one, this x squared times sine of x. And I'm leaving here on the left the example from the video, example number 2 in the previous video, which is the integral of x cosine of x, for a reason that I hope we'll notice in a moment. I'm going to start solving the right one. So let's see, I'm going to start by saying, well, I need a u, so I'm going to pick u to be x squared. So I'm going to pick u to be x squared. And as now we should be familiar with what we must do. We gotta find a u prime in order to fill in the blank from the right side. So I'm going to take right now the derivative of x squared. So it's going to be 2 times x, derivative of x squared. Now I'm going to pick a v prime, which is going to be this sine of x. So b prime, it's equal to sine of x. So when I integrate this, because we're required to find a v in order to fill in the blanks here on the right side, its integral will be equal to negative cosine of x. There it is. So now let's write this down. Let's see where we get. So u is going to be here x squared times v, which we found it to be, I'm going to write full expression, we're going to be minus cosine of x. I'm going to simplify it in the next step. It will be minus the integral of b, which is again minus cosine of x times, which is going to be u prime. We found it to be 2 times x dx. And so let's see, we get, I'm going to simplify this out. It will be minus x squared times cosine of x, and here I'm going to take away these negative signs, so it's going to be plus. And now this constant, this number 2, I'm going to move it to the left side of the expression, and we get to this. I'm going to also move this x to the left side, but within the integral, so we get it's going to be x times cosine of x dx. And well, we got to this integral. We cannot solve it directly, this x cosine of x, but luckily that is actually what we found to be the example number 2, which is over here. And so we have exactly the whole procedure in front of our eyes. So this is the solution for the integral of x cosine of x. So so I'm going to pretty much copy it. So let me place it in a moment, and I'm going to explain it later. So here I'm using the other the variables to be x to be ru again, and I'm using v prime to be the cosine of x. I'm repeating literally the steps from the previous case. So I'm just going to write the formula, and then I'm going to write the result. It's going to be x squared times cosine of x. Now notice this number 2 will be multiplying all along this we'll be multiplying the whole result that we got from this integral of x times cosine of x. So I'm going to write it this way. I'm going to write it it's going to be here plus 2. I'm going to use a bracket, and we're going to write it down. It's going to be u times v, which is x times sine of x, will be minus the integral of v, which is sine of x times v prime u prime, which is going to be u. So I'm not going to write it now. I'm going to just simplify it in one step. Now I'm going to take away, in the next step, I'm going to take away this bracket. X squared times cosine of x will be plus 2 times x times sine of x, and here will be minus 2 the integral of sine of x dx. And we know how to solve this out, so I'm going to jump to this conclusion, to this solution will be x squared times cosine of x plus 2 times x sine of x minus 2, which the integral of sine, we just did it over here, the integral of sine. So it's actually going to be, I'm going to write it completely, it will be minus cosine of x, and here we have the plus c So at the end, we found that this whole solution is going to look like this. 2 times x sine of x will be will be plus 2 times cosine of x plus c, and that will be actually the solution for this whole expression. This where we study a integral of x squared sine of x dx. So now, well, as this I'm going to prove it using the fundamental calculus theorem idea. I'm going to take the derivative of the whole expression. So you're going to take derivatives. Here will be minus x squared times cosine of x will be here plus 2 times 2 times x sine of x plus 2 times cosine of x plus c. I'm going to take derivatives. Let's see. The first was going to be a product, so it's going to be cosine of x times minus 2 times x will be plus, I'm going to write here with the sign, minus x squared times the derivative of cosine of x is going to be minus sine of x. Then will be plus derivative of second term, sine of x times 2 will be plus 2 times x, derivative of sine will be cosine, will be minus 2 times sine of x, which is the derivative of this term. Derivative of c will be 0. Let's see where we get. It's going to be minus 2 times x cosine of x. Here will be plus x squared sine of x, and here will be plus 2 times sine of x will be plus 2 times x cosine of x, and there will be minus 2 times sine of x. And I'm pretty sure you can notice we're going to cancel out this guy, we got this one and this one, and at the end we got that this derivative is equal to x squared times sine of x, which is where we started here. So it means we are right.